All right, as we saw how to answer question number, measurement questions, here we have some questions that we're going to be answering and timing ourselves as well. Okay. Due to drought in his town, Mr. Andrew needs to purchase a water tank for his property as he is a lover of flowers. He bought the following water tank at his local hardware store and had it installed on his property. On the left-hand side, we see the picture, and on the right-hand side, we see the diagram. The diagram has measurements, and they have told us the measurements are all measurements are in milliliters. Millimeters. Okay. They have given you another note here. 1 cubic meter is equivalent to 1 kiloliter. That means 1 cubic liter has 1,000 liters. Okay, we are continuing and we are saying, calculate the radius in meters of the water tank. 3 marks. Now, they are asking for the radius. Remember, we said radius will always be radius, it's the diameter divided by 2. But look at the diameter that we have. It's in millimeters. The answer is needed in meters. What do? We need to convert before we. So we shall say 1,820 divided by 1,000. This is 1,82. These are meters. But this is the diameter. So we shall divide this by 2. And we get the answer as 1,000 divided by 1,000. We get that answer there, which is the same as that. Then we divide that answer by 2. So the answer becomes, so the radius is 0,91. This is the radius. Keep it. Then calculate the volume in meters cubed of the water tank in meters. Now, what does this mean? That before we already given the formula, but before we use the formula, we have to make sure that all the units are the same. All the units are the same. So far, when we look at the equation here, we need the radius, but we've already got it in meters. Let's ask ourselves, what about the height? When we look at the height, it's 2,255. These are millimeters. So also have to change to meters, because why do we change to meters? The final answer is supposed to be in meters cubed. So 2,255 divided by 1,000, the answer became 2,255. These are meters. And this represents our height. So we are good to go. Let's substitute into the formula. The formula says pi r squared times h. So our pi is 3,142. We write 3,142 times our radius. Radius is 0,9. 0,9. And don't forget, it's supposed to be squared, times the height, which is 2,255. Okay, now at the moment, put it in the calculator. Let's go, we put this in the calculator. We shall say, yes, we shall say 3,142 times what? 0,19 squared. Don't worry, even though you don't put a 0 here, it will calculate out. Okay, a 0 in front means nothing. So multiply by 2,255 equals. So the answer here became 5,8. 5,87. That's where it will end, because it's 5,67. So we need to 2 decimal places, so we need to end here. So this one goes off. So the answer becomes 5,7. Don't forget the units. These are 3. These are meters cubed. Substitution is important. Feeding in the right. Now here, 3 marks, you converted, you substituted, you have your final answer. Okay, let's continue. Calculate the volume of water in kiloliters in the water tank if it is filled to 85% of the capacity. What are we going to do? We shall look for the 85%. of that capacity then. 85 over 100 times 5,57. So this is what we are only looking for. So we shall say 0,85 times 5,87. So the answer became 4,99. I don't know whether you see, when you round off, you see we need only 2 decimal places. So this 9 will have to die under 5. But before the dies, is it greater than 4? Yes, plus 1 here. That's why we have 499. Now, these are meters cubed, but they want it in kiloliters. But remember, the scenario that we have, they told you, if you only have 1 meter cubed, you have 1 kiloliter. So simply meaning this is the same as 4,99. All changes, it's a kiloliter. Okay. Had they said in liters, then you would multiply by 1,000. Let's look at the other question and we continue. Question number 5. We're still looking at the same measurements. Okay. The boundaries in cricket, used to be indicated by a thick rope. This caused some injuries to the fielders as they attempt to stop the boundary from being scored. So since the early 2000s, they introduced a triangular prism wedges that are made from high density foam. The picture below shows the example of the wedge. This is not chocolate. These are put around the pitch in that when these cricketers run, they don't fall down, they fall on them. Okay, we are looking at them. They're triangular, well and good. Actually, if someone asked you for the volume of this, using your common sense, it would be, because remember we said the general formula for volume is base area times height. So if they ask for the volume of this one, now since, okay, the base area here, it's a rectangle, but it takes the name from triangle. So the base area will be a triangle. That's why we shall say half base height times this length here, which we shall call height, or you can call it length. Because if you put it up, it will look like this. It would look like this. So this one becomes the height. And down here, this is the base. You're right. We shall need to go there when the time comes. Anyway, let's continue. I'm just anticipating, and you see, I'm just anticipating the questions that you could find here. First and foremost, as you look at the diagram, make sure the units are the same. These are centimeters, these are meters. So if you to have this in centimeters, it will be 100 centimeters. If you're to have this in meters, this will divide by 100 and it will become 0.25 meters. I'm just saying, probably we shall leave it in meters because the height is in meters. This was in centimeters, it has to change. This is leave it in meters because I say most of the 2 of them are in meters. Let's look at the questions and we see. 5.1, calculate the volume calculate the volume of foam in centimeters cubed used to make one of these boundary wedges. And the formula is given to you. Please do not try to, do not try to overthink. They have told you the volume has to be in centimeters. Ask yourself, are the measurements I have, are they in centimeters? No. What do? I need to change them to centimeters. Oh, what am I doing? Anyway, we said already, this meter here, it will become 100 centimeter. The base or the length of the side is already in centimeters. We don't need to change it unless stated otherwise. What else do we need to change? We need to change the height to centimeters. Meters to centimeters, we multiply by 100. And I believe the answer became 2, multiplied by 100, 2,165. That's the answer then. 21,65. We have a question here. 0, 0.2165 times 100. The answer became 21. We have 21.65. These are centimeters. Why am I changing to centimeters? Because the answer I'm looking for is supposed to be in centimeters. Having changed or having converted, I need to substitute now. Already the formula, imagine I've already written it down. Please write the formula in the examination answer sheet. Then you fill it in. So this is a half remains, times. What is my base? The base will be this one here, the line which touches the perpendicular. So the base is 25. We shall write 25 times the perpendicular line. This symbol means perpendicular line, this line here. This line that goes up, the height. So the perpendicular height, they have told us the height of a triangle is, but remember, we've changed it to centimeters, so we shall use 21.65 times was the height slash the length of this one here, which is 100. Having done this, I believe so far you have 2 marks. So what happens? Come and substitute in the formula here, and you look for the answer. Come and substitute, then you look for the answer. So we are saying we substitute into the, we've already substituted. Now at this moment, it's when you pick your calculator and you feed in the equation the way it is. The equation says it starts with a half. A half is the same as 0.5. Okay, allow me to do that. A half, put a half there. A half. A half, open brackets. You might leave the brackets, just multiply, times 25. Then times 21.65. That's the triangle. Then after that, we multiply by 100. 100. So this became 25 times 100. You get the answer there as, write it in decimals, please. 27,062. 27,062, comma 5. Remember, you're looking at volume, so don't forget the units. These have become units. Okay. What was it here? 1, you converted. 2, you substituted. 3, you have the answer. 3 marks. 5.2. The minimum distance around the cricket field for a professional match is 138 meters. Now they're asking you calculate the volume of foam needed for all the wedges required for the cricket. Now remember, how long is the wedge? It's 1 meter. That simply means if it's 1 meter, for each wedge you will need, for the complete, you will need 300 what? Wedges. You see that? But what are we looking for? The minimum distance around it is this much. Calculate the volume of the foam. So it will be 138 times the volume that we've just got, the 27,062.5. Please multiply this. Oh, we already have it here. All I need to do is to multiply by 138. And I will get my answer as 373. So this is million. We have 3. We have 3,734,625. 3,734,625. Don't forget the units. We are looking for how much volume is needed. How much volume is needed. Okay. So far we are collecting marks a little bit here and there. Simple marks that you should not miss. Question number 6. Jeremy is busy with renovations at his house and wants to build a swimming pool for his children. He is building a building a simple rectangular swimming pool that has a uniform depth across the whole pool. The diagram below shows supposed to be shows an example of a rectangular pool, as well as a diagram with the dimensions. So one side, picture. What's the difference between a picture and a diagram? A picture, it's a, let's say it's in real life, like reality. It's taken by a camera. And the dimension, these are drawing. It's a drawing. Eh? I remember it came in one quick question paper, but I don't remember which year was it. Difference between a picture and it's fine. Let's continue. Now, these are the measurements. First and foremost, don't just look at the picture. Sorry, don't just look. The picture is just to give you the sense, but it's a diagram that we're going to use for calculations. All right. Make sure that all the units are the same, depending on what they have told you. Okay. So 6.1, calculate the capacity. Capacity is the same as volume. Calculate the capacity in meters cubed that the swimming pool or that this swimming pool will be able to take. They have already given the formula. I've already told you, please, as you look at it, don't just look at the formula. Find out, do you have whatever it takes to use the formula? Now, this formula here wants us to have the length, it wants us to have the width, and it wants us to have the depth. You understand? So do you have your length? Put it there. Don't get scared. Times the width, which is 4. The depth is 1,5. And me doing this, you know you have 1 mark. Pick it. Having done this, replacing wherever it's supposed to be, use your calculator. Please use your calculator. Don't rush. No one is chasing you. So we are there. So the final answer became 42. 42, don't forget the units, meters cubed. 2 marks. All right, there we go. Jeremy will fill his swimming pool to 85% of the capacity. Calculate the cost to fill the pool if he uses a camper that supplies pool water at a rate of 10 rands per kiloliter. So what we need to know, first and foremost, what is the 85% of the capacity? That's the first thing you're going to do. So we shall say it's 85% times the volume that we have. You understand? Afterwards, this is, here you are looking for how much water do you need. So we shall say, already, okay, we shall say 85% times 42. You see that? So you end up having 35,7. These are meters cubed. They sell per kiloliter, which is the same as this, because they are telling us if you have 1 meter cubed, you have 1 kiloliter. So it doesn't matter. This is the same. So what do we do? How much will he pay? So we shall come here and multiply by 10. I believe the answer will become, remember we are looking for how much will he pay. So your answer is supposed to be in rand. So this is the answer. How do you get the 4 marks? 1, you applied the logic there. You multiplied by 4. You got the right answer. Or if not, it's 1 mark for that. Then multiplying by 10. Multiplying by 10. Okay. That is it. 4 marks. Okay. Don't get scared when it comes to measurements. Let's get to question number 7. Question number 7, we have Wow Water. It's a company that sells filtered water to the public. The people can bring their own cans or containers and pay according to the volume they bought. They want to buy a water tank. But want to limit the amount of material used. Actually, as you read through, the moment you hear the amount, want to limit the amount of material, what has to come in your head is what? Surface what? Surface area. Surface area has to come into your head. Anyway, they're saying they have the following 2 options available that have the similar volume. So one side, we have the cylindrical. tank, then the other side we have a rectangular tank. You understand? That's it. Then before you continue, ask yourself, what do you have? Oh, they say this is a radius, so I don't need to look for the radius, it's already given. So this is the height. Another thing, look at the units. Are they the same units? Yes, well and good. This is good to go. Oh, let's see, meters, meters, meters. Very good. So they are all good. We don't need to change any units unless stated otherwise. The formulas are given to me. Wonderful. Both sides, yes. Okay. We are here, 7.5 marks, 7.1. Verify by means of calculations that the two water tanks shown above have a similar volume. That means I'm going to look for volume of one tank, then I compare it to the volume of the other one. One is cylindrical, the other is rectangular. Now, volume of a cylindrical, oh man, look at this information. It's so mixed, but it's fine. On the left-hand side, we have surface area. I don't know whether you have seen that. All right, there's no any formula for volume. Then this other side, we have formulas for volume. Now it will take your memory to remember which formulas did the teacher talk about as formulas of volume and which figure does it apply to. So we have volume here, that pi times radius squared times height. Oh, radius, the information radius. That means this has to be a cylinder. Why? I only have the radius here. This side is no radius. So volume of this, then I'll call it volume 1. I will use the first formula. Why? I've seen a radius and it matches well with this other side. Then they are telling me, oh, here they specified. They're saying volume of a rectangular prism. Oh, this is the only one which is rectangular here. Is length times W times what? Times height. Okay, let's continue. Remember, they're telling us to compare volumes. So I already know the radius is 1 meter. All right, then I need the height. The height, I also need to know, oh, it's 2 meters. So it's good to go, ne? Okay, for this other box, the can this side, the length is 2, the width is 1,5, and the height is 2,15. I'm just writing my notes that when it comes to substitution, I just substitute. Anyway, the volume of the first tank, what will it be? V1, the volume of the first tank, it will be pi r squared h. Substitute 3,142 times my radius, which is 1 squared, times the height, which is 2. Here I end up having, I believe, 1 squared is the same as 1. So then 3,142 times 2, you get 6,284. These are meters cubed. Put it aside. We are comparing it with the other versus the rectangular. I will call it volume 2, which is L times W times height. My length as 2, my width as 1,2, and my height as 2,1. Substitute, put it in the calculator. This could be 3 times 2, which is 6,3. Let's see. 6,3 because it's 2 times 1,5 times 2,1. So the answer became 6,3. So this side we have 6,3. These are meters what? Cubed. Now, take note. This one is to 1 decimal place. Guess what's going to happen? Also make this one to 1 decimal place. All right? This to 1 decimal place, it will also become. And you're done with your question. So they're saying, actually, verify by means of calculation that the 2 water tanks shown above have a similar volume. Indeed, they both have the similar volume. 6,3 meters cubed, 6,3 meters cubed. We are proving that's done. Okay. 7.2, sorry. 5 marks again. The material used, the moment you hear material, what has to come in your head is surface area. The material used to make both water tanks costs the same. Show by means of calculations which tank will use less material by calculating the surface area of both. Please allow me use symbols here. My space is a little bit small, but it's fine. We shall say surface area of the first one, it's 2 pi r into r plus h. Surface area, okay? You can check it. This one here, the reason, okay, this one you also get the same mark. You can write it down. You get the same mark as mine. But the reason why I like using this, because I don't repeat the 2 pi and I avoid the r squared. Some learners forget to square. So to avoid that, I use this simple one. I substitute once. So my 2 remains. My pi is 3,14, 2. Then what is my radius? The radius, we said it was 1. Open brackets, the same way they open. Radius still 1. The height is 2. At this moment, I'll put in the calculator 2 times 3,142 times 1, open brackets, 1 plus 2. I close my brackets and I press equals. I look at the number like that, I make it decimal. So here we have 18,85. These are meters squared. This is for the first tank. Surface area 1 of the first tank. Then what about the surface area of the second one? Surface area of the second tank. Surface area of the second tank, they have given me this. But they still, when you look at it here, it's that the 2 is 2 throughout. So to avoid that error again, I will use this one. 2 into LB plus BH plus LH. What I know about these formulas here, they don't usually change unless stated otherwise. So my L appears twice, my H appears twice, and my B appears twice, which is okay. So I go on and substitute. I open my 2. LB simply means length times breadth, which is my 2 times the width here. It's the breadth there, 1,5 plus BH. BH is the same as width times height, which is 1,5 times 2,1 plus again my L. My L there, it's 2 times the height, which is 2,1. Having done this, I'm good to go. I'll go to the calculator and substitute it in. All right, you can now I'll put there 2 open brackets 2 times 1,5 plus, don't forget, you first multiply, then you add. You multiply again, add. Okay, add, then we say 1,5 times 2,1 plus 2 times 2,1. You close your bracket and you colon the answer. The answer becomes 20. So this is 20,7 meters squared. So now remember the question wants us to say, show by calculation or show by means of calculation, which tank has or will have or will use less material by calculating the surface area for both. So here you conclude and you say the cylindrical tank. The cylindrical tank will have less material, or it will use less material. That was the question. So 2 marks for substitution answer, 5 marks, your conclusion. So another mark is for your conclusion. Don't forget about that. Why are we looking? We are asking you to choose which one will be better. Okay, we look at the other question, which is question number 8, probably the last question or second last. Okay, it's the last question, I believe. Water is scarce in South Africa. The average annual rainfall is 464 millimeters. 89% of South Africans have access to safe drinking water. Some of the other rural areas make use of water tanks to collect the rainwater. The following diagrams indicate an example of a water tank. The following diagram indicates an example of a water tank used to collect rainwater. So one side we have a diagram and the other side we have a picture. Okay, we going to use diagram. Oh, they have told us inner diameter. It's what? 7 meters. The height is 6 meters. So far, the units are the same. But if I'm told to look for the volume, I will need to know the radius. Anyway, we shall cross the bridge when we reach there. Okay, here we go. Take note, 1 meter cubed equals to 1,000 liters, which is the same as 1,000 liters are equivalent to 1 kiloliter. The inner surface area, the inner surface of the tank will be painted with a waterproofing paint to ensure that no water will leak out of the tank. Calculate the inner surface area in meters squared of the water tank. Now, look at the formula. I've told you this formula here can be simplified as 2 pi r into r plus h. Why do I usually like using this? I am avoiding to repeat the pi, but it's fine. Let me use what they have given me. So it's 2 times, what's my pi? 3,142 times radius. The radius has to be squared. When now you have a diameter there of 7. Remember that? This value here, the diameter given to you is 7. So need the radius. Radius will always be diameter divided by 2, which is 7 divided by 2. The answer is 3,5. So your radius is 3,5 meters. Okay, so we shall come with the 3,5 meters. You square it. How did you get the 3,15? We were looking for the radius. So we took the diameter of 7, we divided it by 2, and we got 3, this is the radius. By the way, how do we get the marks? Even showing what is not given to you, you get a mark. All right, so from here, so I've submitted this one. Then plus what? I'm starting this other side now. The 2, then 3,142 times, it tells me the radius, which is 3,5 times, what's the height? The height, I already saw it up there as 6. Good to go for me. What do I do? I'll pick them and put them in a calculator. Please don't touch the calculator until you've written down what you're going to calculate. Until you've substituted. You follow. You understand? 2, pi, r. 2, Then 3, they're all there. Thank you. We shall say 2 times 3,142 times 3,5 squared. All right? Plus 2 times 3,142 times 3,5 times 6. What answer do you get? You get your answer as 208,94. 208,94. These are meters squared. These are meters squared. Recap on this other one here. If I told you I'd use this one, so I would say 2 times 3,142 times the radius, which is 3,5, open brackets, 3,5 plus the 6. Let's go and put in a calculator and you see. You can simplify here, but it's fine, even though you don't simplify, because it's 4 marks. You'll get your full marks. Okay, it's fine. Let's look at this and you see. 2 times 3,142 times 3,5, open bracket, 3,5 plus 6. Still will get the same answer as 20. Don't forget the units. All right. The simplification also you get a mark. What do we mean by simplifying? You would have done this. Simplifying. When we mean by what we mean by simplifying, it's you get the answer you get in the first term here, and also the answer you get this other side. You understand? Write this down. 2 times 3,142 times 3,5 squared. So it's 76 76,979 plus, what do you get from the other side here? Let's look at that, and we say 2 times 3,142 times 3,5 times 6. It's 131,964. 131,964. At this moment in time, what do? You come back. Remember, this one is already here. So you just add on 7, 6, 9, 7, 9. And the answer comes out nicely. 208, don't forget the units. That's what we mean by simplifying. After substituting, you tell us what the answer that you get for each term. It could be the same as this one here. Remember, we are looking for marks, né? How do we come up with the 4 marks? So this will be 2 times 3,5 is same as 7. So it will be 3,142 times 7 times 9,5. This one is only 1. It does not need that much. All right. So you just put it in the calculator there. 3,142 times 7 times 9,5. You still get your same answers. You've simplified. You have simply, don't forget the units. We are fighting for marks. Anyway, let's continue. 3.2. The waterproof paint used has a spread rate of 6 meters per liter and costs 185 per liter. Calculate how much it will cost to paint the water tank with 2 layers of waterproofing paint. Now, what I want you to understand is here. 1, we have what we call the spread rate. Spread rate shows you how much 1 liter will cover, or how much paint you need per given area. Then number 2, we have the cost. These ones are going to help us in the calculations. And number 3, they have told us 2 layers. Now, at the moment you hear 2 layers or 2 coats, simply meaning the area is going to be doubled. You're going to apply paint the first time. Again, you paint the same area. So the area that you're going to paint, by the way, calculate how much it will cost to paint. So we only have the area to be covered. So let's do it. The total area to be covered to be 2 times 2, 0, 8,94. Let's come to the calculator. 208,94 times 2. The area to be covered will be 417,88 meters, what? Squared. But they have told you for only 1 liter, you get 6 meters squared. So what do? We find out how much paint do we need. We divide by 6. Divide by 6. We shall divide by 6. You see that? So the answer here became 69. 69, 646 recurring. So remember, they're not selling half a liter, they are selling in liters. So how much liters do we need? We shall buy 70 liters. You see that? We are not interested in the liters, we are interested in the cost. So we shall multiply this by 1,85. And let's see the answer there that we have. 70 times 185. 12,000. We have 12,950. 12,000. We have 12,970. 750. What am I doing? It's 12,950. 12,950. 50. So this is the answer they wanted you to do. So one, you have analyzed that you're going to multiply the area by 2. Either way, you've divided by 6 to get the number of liters. You have multiplied by the cost per liters, and you have your final answer. This could have been 6 marks because we see some multiplication, you get the area needed divided by the rounding of this, making sense of this 70 instead of you using 6,9. You should get a mark for that. Anyway, let's continue. 8.3 to max. Calculate the volume of the water tank. That is, calculate the volume of the water that this tank can collect, the capacity. Substitution still takes us back to that. Remember, it had a diameter. The diameter is 7 meters. Then the height is 6, if I'm not mistaken. Look at that. 7 as the diameter, height 6. So you are looking at this. The formula does not need the height. Sorry, the formula does not need the radius. The formula does not need the diameter. It needs the radius. So what do you do first? Look for the radius. Our radius will always be diameter divided by 2, which is 7 divided by 2. The answer became 3,5. These are meters. Okay, so I have my radius now. The height is, so substitute. So my pi is 3,142 times, what's my radius? 3,5. What is my height? 6. 3,142 times 3,52. Then after that times 6. So we have the answer as 230. 230,94. These are meters cubed. Meters cubed. They never asked in liters or anything. So you finish, you leave it like that. So here you see 2 marks. One for substitution, definitely, and the other is for the final answer. Answers are only awarded 1 mark. Please avoid that. Let's come in and we see. Now they're telling us the outlet in the water tank has a flow rate of 15 liters per minute. 15 liters per minute. Calculate how long in hours and minutes it will take for the tank to be emptied if the tap is continuously running, like it has not stopped. Anyway, what you're going to do, they have told us, for 1 minute, the water that is pouring out is 15 liters. Not kiloliters, 15 liters. For you, you have 230,94 meters what? Cubed. Now, these are not yet liters. What do we do? Change them to liters. And if you change them to liters, you need to multiply by 1,000. Let's come to our answer here. Multiply by 1,000. You have 23,000. Well, this one will be 23,000. 230,940 liters. So how long will it take these to be outletted? So this is what you are looking at. Don't mind about the 7 because remember for us we had rounded off, so it's 230,94 times 1,000. It becomes that much, 230,940. So you have liters, which is you see that? So we ask ourselves how many minutes shall we use? So we cross multiply. So it becomes 15 unknown equals to 230,940. Because we're looking for this unknown, what do? We divide through by 15. We divide through by 15. The unknown was on the side of minutes. So the answer you get here to be minutes. The answer will be minutes. We come here. Let's divide by 15. When we divide by 15, we end up having 15,390 6. These are minutes. We want them to be hours. Minutes to hours, we divide by 60. Divide by 60. So you have 256 hours, 0.6. So 256. These are what? Hours. Remember the question wants hours and minutes. So full hours are 256. These are hours. What about the minutes? The minutes. So now if you remove 200, so you remain with 0. So the 0.6, these would have been hours, but they are not enough. We multiply them by 60. And I believe you get 36. Yeah, 36. So it's 200 hours, 36 what? Minutes. The other easiest way to confirm you would have done this. You see this answer that we've got here. Okay, let me see. This is the answer. Yeah. Okay, it's fine. Let me see. 15,396 divided by 60. Press equals. Having done that, you come and press this key. It gives you this, which is the same answer that we've got even us. We've got the same answer. I don't know whether you remember how we got this one here. So these are hours. And we have 36 minutes. Yes, this brings us to the end of the discussion. Hopefully it will help you. Please enjoy your paper 2 when it comes. Bye-bye.